Hey folks, Twisted Christian. I'm going to discuss something that I feel like I'm being impressed to share. It concerns the Clement prophecies, the 8 wells. A while back I did a couple videos on the 8 wells as I knew. And from all the studies, looking at other people who have looked at it, and some of them are still unknown. But yet, it seems like there's a lot more investments coming from Kim Clement's prophecies than 8. So I believe that there is a distinction between the 8 wells and then other investments. And we talked about Dinar, we talked about the BBB, Ford, the Big E, Synchrotron, the Oak Tree. Kim Clement mentioned 5 different new energy sources. And just to even give an example, like one of those energy sources is going to be the trash that we throw out every single day. And so that would put a lot of these places that collect recyclable or collect trash in general. If trash becomes part of our fuel system that goes into our cars, then you would see that particular industry, the waste industry, really go up because now trash has become valuable. So that's just like an example of some of the things that I could see. He doesn't mention specifically companies that deal with waste, but he talks about our trash being used as a fuel. So when we are doing this research, when these things are released, and then we'll be in a better position to understand and be able to invest in those investments. So, but really quick first, I'm going to go over some prophecies. All right, this prophecy coming from December 31st, 2013. So I'm just going to read a few of these. For I have excitement for you, says the Spirit. Though you are surrounded by fear, doom, and gloom, I have set apart truths for my people to prosper, and I say to you, it has begun. They have spoken of the Dinar. They have spoken of amazing discoveries, the Big E, Synchrotron. I have spoken of these things that they will manifest, but yet there has been a cover upon these things. I say to you, I will release them one at a time. This is the beginning of motion. That what I've spoken over the last 7 years has now been uncovered, says the Lord. It shall move rapidly, but hear a mystery. Hear a mystery, says the Lord. A mystery is, look at the thing, which is able to morph, the caterpillar. What is this that is being spoken? There is gold and there is silver, and those that are wait upon, I can see it, I can see it. There are wells. There are 8 wells that are going to be unstopped in the year 2014. These wells shall bring great provision to people who perceive and who invested. All right, so he's talking about here the 8 wells. And so hopefully, and I actually honestly believe that probably some of the latter 8 wells that as we get in after maybe the second or the third, we may not even figure out what the other wells are until maybe several years after the first well has been released. And see, he's uncovered those things. You know, we know the Dinar, it's been uncovered. We know the Big E, Synchrotron, it's been uncovered, but there's no way for us to invest at this point, at least that we know of. Okay, so this prophecy comes from January 19th, 2006. Let it be known to you, says the Spirit of God, even as you have gathered tonight, and I have promised this nation multiplication to where the deficit shall be cleared because of a new energy that is coming, that shall come forth rapidly in the next few months, says the Lord. I will take men and women that have been waiting and sowing, and I will cause them to become millionaires and billionaires in a very short period of time. All right, so I just wanted to point that out. I'm going to go ahead and get to the next one. This prophecy I'm about to read to you comes from March 3rd, 2006. Now, in this one, he's talking about the new source of energy. He is talking about, and our economy shall change. So that's why you want to read everything in context, but I'm just pointing this particular part out because of what's been impressed to share. God has given the key, for I do nothing unless I reveal my secrets to my servants, the prophets. Now you have heard a secret. Use your brains. Discover, for I will take some of you that only have 100,000 or 5,000 or 25,000 and make you millionaires by simply looking again to the west. What is the west? God said, look, go and look. There is a great discovery. There is a company that I will raise up, and I will allow you to have access, so you will make what was supposed to be unrighteous money handed placed into the bosom of the righteous, my people. This is the beginning of great prosperity upon the church, says the Lord of hosts. So first of all, I do want to point out that as I've been reading this, and I'm kind of right now I'm kind of up in the air about what the first well that is going to be released, because in many cases, he talks about the dinar, he talks about great provision, but he also talks about this new energy source that's going to make people millionaires. And here it says this is the beginning of a great prosperity upon the church. Does this mean that the dinar will revalue after this new energy source, or will it revalue before the energy resource? All right, so I just wanted to throw that out there. But what I feel like is impressed to share is that by the time from the first well to the beginning of the eighth well, when the eighth well takes off, there is no reason why we should not be billionaires at that time. Because here you've been given the keys, investing prophetically into where you're not all over the place and looking at all these different companies all over the Dow. But these are going to be targeted investments. And by the time that this eighth well has been released, if you're listening to my voice right now, and you know about the dinar, you know about Ford, you know about BBB, you know about all these investments that have already been brought up. Right now, Synchrotron is one of those where we still haven't figured out which companies are really working with that. Right? I did find one, but when I found it, it was already above $4 per share. Not to say we couldn't take off to 500 or 600 or something like that, but when Clement, a lot of times with these wells, it sounds like to me that you can take a little bit and it's going to multiply. Right? Multiply to the point that if you put $5,000 in and you get $1 million or several $1 million because of the investment, that's multiplication on top of multiplication. That's what was needed to be pointed out. And, keep in mind, folks, this is not all just about, money and getting rich, because this is all about bringing forth the kingdom. And there's a lot of people that are listening that don't care. There's a lot of people listening that the moment that the dinar revalues, you won't come back to the 8 wells unless you go broke. Some of you just want to get your money and you want to be done with everything and you want to retire. But that's not what God has in store for all of that, because there is a much bigger picture, that the reason why we're doing the 8 wells in the first place is so that his people can be fed, so that people have provision, and the lonely and the sick and the orphan and the widows can be taken care of. There is a lot of responsibility given to us since we have heard this. So again, I am going to start my studies on the 8 wells. Now, it's not something that I could just put together overnight. This is something that I have to continuously study because there are many different investments and there are many different things. When Clement is talking about the dinar revaluation, and then I see all these other connections that don't even that give kind of like a season or a time period, but yet it seems like it's connected to the dinar or it's connected to this new energy source. This new energy source that's coming. Because like I said, I don't know if the dinar is coming first or the new energy source is coming first. I suspect that I'm leaning towards more the dinar revaluing first. But we need to start looking, we need to start focusing what's going on in the West. Right? We need to start looking in that and start doing our research. And let me tell you, folks, there's a lot. And I wish that I could just, order a couple of books that have all of his prophecies in it, or somehow be able to print them all out. But there's so many, and there's so many connections. It's absolutely insane. And I know right now a lot of people are worried. We are stuck in this whole unknown thing, with the elections and everything. But we will get past that point, right? And I think that once that takes place, once those prophetic voices that have spoken, and once those prophetic things have come to pass, you're going to see a lot of people. They will be coming to the Kim Clement ministry and saying, okay, maybe something there is something there going on. But a lot of people in the dinar community, they don't even care. Really, probably the majority of people in the dinar community do not care about Kim Clement's words. They don't care about looking prophetically at this, right? When Zion Oil transferred over from the NASDAQ to the OTC, I was going to the message boards and stuff like that, and people were saying, you know what, I just want to get out. I just want to make my money back and get out. There's a lot of people that said, I just set it for $1. Once it sells for $1 on my Robinhood or my Webull or wherever else, I'm done with this stock. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to just get out. And a lot of them are going to, a lot of people are going to miss a lot of blessings because they are very, very impatient. And I understand if you've been waiting for the dinar to revalue since 2004, 2005, you guys have been waiting for a long time, right, to become wealthy. And yet, there's all these other prophecies in the Kim Clement that have been totally ignored. Right? You have $1,000 worth of dinar and you go to work every day, right? And we've missed out on so much. Because I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself too. And we have missed a lot of opportunities. So, but before these 8 wells are released, we're not going to miss, we're not going to try to miss any more new opportunities. So, folks, I just wanted to bring that up, that we just, by the time the 8th well, we should be all in a completely different position. And that's one of the reasons why that in the future, you may see how this content, the way that it's released, it actually may change. Because let me tell you something, folks. Once we're into the second and the third well, and you are wealthy, there's not going to be any need to sit there every single day and listen to daily videos about whether or not these other currencies are going to change in value. So the only people that will be seeking after that is those who didn't pay attention to the dinar, who didn't pay attention to Kim Clement's prophecies, and they're going to be wanting to know all that information. And I think to a certain extent, some of it will be closed off to a lot of people. So that's all I just wanted to share, that by the time that this thing is over with, that's where we should be at. We should be at billionaire status, because the money that you're going to get from any of these investments that we're in, whether it's XRP or any of the investments that Johnny is talking about, or the dinar, you should have plenty of money to invest into all these other technologies that are getting ready to come out. So anyways, folks, just wanted to point that out to you and give you some other things on this whole thing with this new energy source. And because as I get in more and more into just trying to figure out some of these things that are going on with the dinar and this new energy source, it's almost like they're neck and neck as far as which one is going to come first. I'm still leaning more towards the dinar. I hope that it is. But also, too, surrounding the debt of this nation, it's not the dinar that wipes it out. It's this new energy source. That's going to be the thing that we kind of need to start focusing on, because you have the dinar, You have your VND, you may have other currencies, you have other things that you're invested in. But as far as taking time out to research, we need to really start looking at the big E, 5.T, and all that, and this new energy sources, right? We need to start focusing on that. So these links will be down below in the description. So you can go ahead and go to the description and check them out. And if you're on the Patreon, the links will be down in there too as well. So folks, tell me what you think. What do you guys think about this new energy source and the dinar? If was anybody else out there thinking like, are we sure the dinar is going to go first, or is it going to be something else? Tell me what you think. And also too, folks, don't forget to visit the House of Destiny website, the prophecy. You can go there, check out the prophecy, the videos. One of the things that if you are really looking, and if you watch Kim Clement's videos, and you notice a lot of times when he is in the prophetic mode, there is a lot of praise and worship going on. If you guys are looking prophetically at things, you want to look at Kim Clement's prophecies, looking at the word, and then communicating God with your own dreams and visions. That's one of the things that we have to do in order to really gain insight, is to make sure that we are in praise, we are in worship, and we are in communication with the Father in heaven. Anyways, folks, I thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. Be safe. God bless. And with that being said, Twisted Christian out.